No, we're walking. I promise you. Do you trust me? They need to stop the probe spam. They need to remove this mechanic. They need to remove it.
This is not broken at all.
Looking for an easier way to grind gold coins on Outbrk? Well then let me show you a lesser known trick called probe spamming that could make a huge difference in your Outbrk gameplay. Stick around and find out how to do it. Probe spamming is a technique that allows you to deploy multiple probes just outside the danger zone of a tornado without risking getting thrown around. While a direct hit with one probe might net you a huge score, spamming lets you safely rack up smaller hits for a consistent payout. Given the right scenario and the perfect conditions, you can rack up a total amount of points that are mind-blowing. Let's talk about Outbrk's most recent change to give some context. At this moment, tornadoes have a 100-yard radius in which you can be affected by the tornadic winds. So this means probes you place down within that 100-yard radius will be affected by tornadic winds as well, and you'll get some slight probe data. First, you'll need to position yourself within a safe distance, right on the edge of where a tornado's winds can toss you, but not close enough where they drag you in and pull you up into the air. A good indicator for this is right when you start to hear the tornado winds as that whistling. Here's a good example right now. Once you're in position, it's time to spam those probes. You'll want to go ahead and hold Q in an open space until the probe drops, and then you'll immediately hold Q to pick it back up. Do this on repeat until the tornado is out of range. If you're in a good spot, you'll probably get roughly 8 to 10,000 per tornado. Doesn't even matter if it's an EF1 or an EF5. You'll probably get a solid amount depending on where you're positioned.
They need to stop the probe spam. They need to remove this mechanic. They need to remove it.
This is not broken at all.
As you can see here from one of my live streams, staying patient and riding the edge of the tornado's range allows me to deploy and retrieve several probes, keeping safe while racking up a consistent amount of points each time, roughly 1,000 to 2,000 each time I place a probe. Is it cheap? Probably. Does it earn you a lot of money? Definitely. If your issue is playing the game, I recommend learning the correct way. If your issue is grinding out coins, I recommend probe spamming, as that is the highest way to earn the income at the moment. In this example, we try to calculate where the outside edge is going to be based on the funnel cloud dropping, and we overshoot it by a little, but we are able to walk up and get a pretty good amount of probes off. Check this out. This tornado absolutely started just standing in place, so I had no choice but to walk up and start probe spamming the hell out of this thing. This is an ideal situation for probe spamming. Right about here, the tornado started to pick up winds and move towards me, and you can tell by the audio cues. Once those tornadic winds and the whistling starts going, I knew I needed to get out of there and back up a bit, but we were still able to get like 5 or 6 probes off before that happened. So you might be wondering, what's the ideal situation to use this technique? Probe spamming is ideal in situations where the tornado's path is consistent and predictable. Getting too close would be too risky on a sidewinder or a really large tornado. We don't have wedges yet, but wedges too would fall into that category. The key, I suppose, would be knowing when to play it safe and when to go ahead and get that one good probe off. Sidewinders that might take you out would probably not be a good time to probe spam that. If you're interested, one of my buddies is creating an in-depth guide to every single scenario with all their tornado tracks and everything. It probably takes the essence out of the game if you're just learning. I don't recommend that. I recommend learning how to play it with analyzing the storm systems themselves. But if you're just looking for a quick cash grab, my Discord does have that document. Link is in the description. Shout out to PT White for the one, he's the one that's making the document. So, We went ahead and probe spammed that last one and this tornado. Those were the only 2 tornadoes of this scenario, and this was our payout at the end. Here you can see we've had a probe data payout of 30,000, roughly 15,000 per tornado. We've went ahead and probed 15 times and recovered it 15 times, with our max mile an hour being only 106 miles an hour. So we were outside of any death tornado range, but we were still able to rack up a very solid amount of coins. Another way to probe spam is if you've gotten one good successful probe and you just kind of want to chase it and get some slight probes as you chase it. Essentially what you want to do is go ahead and follow it till right around where you know you're going to get tossed. Step out, get one quick probe down, quickly pick it up, and then go ahead and continue chasing it from behind. If all goes well, you should get one solid probe with that is a direct hit, and then you should go ahead and get a bunch of smaller probes that aren't equal nearly as much, but still offer quite a lot of income. Once you get this strategy down, you should be able to pull insane numbers. I've pulled 80,000 on one scenario and 91,000 on another scenario that on the normal way I would have gotten max 40,000 on either of those, but we were able to go ahead and pull crazy numbers so that we can go ahead and grind our way to the Dominator 3 as fast as possible. And that's it for this guide to probe spamming in Outbreak. If you found this strategy helpful or have other tips you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more in-depth guides or challenge videos, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more storm chasing content. Thanks for watching. Now get out of here and chase those storms. Dieg out.